Did you know the same data that can answer four completely different questions? One tells you what happened, another explains why it has happened, a third predicts the future, and the last one tells you exactly what you should do next. These are four different types of data analysis that every data analyst must know. So let's understand it with the help of real life examples in just few minutes, right? So hi everyone, welcome back to Mind Excite. So my name is Prabjot, and in this session we will be talking about different types of data analysis and why it is very important to choose the right method. So let's try to understand first of all why the right analysis method matters. Because if we'll choose the wrong method, it will directly have an impact on the outcome. The mismatch analysis leads to misleading conclusions, wasted resources, and poor decisions that cost the business. Every question that has a method, which means each type of analysis answers a different business question, and matching method to the question is very critical first step. And all four should work together, all the analysis that we talk about. Most organizations need all four types operating in concert. They build on each other from insights to action. Now for this I would like to give you an example that why the right analysis method matters. Now think about it. Let's suppose today I am having a headache, right? And consider that I go to doctor and I'll tell all my symptoms, right? Okay, so I have headache, all these, maybe some pain in other part of the body, right? Now what if the doctor is not able to identify the disease according to the symptoms? That's a problem, right? That means whatever the symptoms I have given it to, or I have said it to the doctor, if the doctor is not able to understand or will not be able to perform his or her analysis on the given symptoms, then he or she might not be able to identify the correct problem. This is why in business also, if I'm not able to identify the problem, like consider another example, like maybe I'm a restaurant owner and I'm selling a product, and the sales is not up to the mark. It's been 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, right? If I'm not able to correctly identify the problem, maybe in the product, or maybe I'm selling in the wrong place, whatever it is, then I'm not being able to correct it in the given time. This is why all four different types of analysis is very important, and the correct method should be applied to identify the correct outcome. So they all works together. The four core types at a glance: descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis. So I would like to explain it with the help of example, all these four, and they are generally being referred to as descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. So let's start with the first one, descriptive, which already saying or refers to as a describe. It has a word in that, right? Now all these four instances you can again consider or refer it to an example of doctor. I have some concerns. Let's suppose I have a headache, right? Now I went to doctor, or I'll go to doctor, right? What is the first thing? You can also pause this video here and think about it. You have a headache, you go to the doctor. The the very first thing the doctor will ask you, think about it, right? So I guess doctor will ask you that might be where you went or what did you eat, etc., right? That means he or she is putting up a few questions and trying to understand that you're having a headache, right? And what circumstances might have happened due to which it caused a problem. We don't know what causes the problem, but we want to know the reason behind that, why it has happened, or for what concerns or for what reasons it has happened, right? So the first thing, doctor is going to put up few questions just to know the series of events which has happened due to which he or she might be able to identify that the root cause of the headache, right? So the very first type that we call it as descriptive analysis, where we put all these questions, we'll try to understand that what has happened in the past so that we can identify the reason for it, right? So first thing is to know that what has happened. So you are saying doctor will put up few questions. What happened? Okay. Then you will give answers. Okay, I'm having headache, right? I went to this place, or I did eat this, or I have done these activities, etc. So the reason of all these things is to identify that what has happened in the past. This is what we refer to as descriptive. Now, once I know, as a doctor, I know all the symptoms. I got to know it from the patient. Obviously, based upon that, I will recommend, okay, you should also do some test if it is necessary, right? Now, based upon that symptoms and the test analysis that will be performed, based upon that, we will try to understand why it has happened. For example, if I was having a headache, I explained that these are the things which happened. I traveled for 8 hours continuously. I did not eat anything. This is just a scenario. Now, based upon the things which has happened, I'm trying to diagnose it, right? Okay, maybe the problem of headache is that I did not eat or I traveled continuously for a long period of time, right? So this is what we refer to as why it did happen. This is we call as diagnostic, right? So I'm having a headache. I explained all the symptoms that defines the things which has happened in the past. I described the problem. And based upon the information that has been received, the doctor will do the analysis and try to find out the reason that why it has happened after putting all those questions, right? Now we identified that this is the root cause of the problem and maybe the test also, right? Now based upon that information, we got our third analysis that we call it as predictive, which refers to as predict. And prediction can be on the data that we want to do in the current time period, or it can also be refers to as the future prediction also, right? Two different things. Future prediction generally refers to time series analysis that we perform, okay? Like weather forecasting that we want to do. But if I'll say today, if somebody gives me data and wants to perform the analysis and say, okay, predict uh, that whether like who will win or whether I will have some like diabetes or not, right? Based upon the medical history that can be done in today's time also refers to as predictive, right? But future predictions is referred to as time series analysis. Now, why we want to perform? Because we want to know what will happen. Like doctor has performed some obviously uh, some things, some actions they have performed, or it has referred to that you have to do some blood test, right? From the blood test report, we want to find out that what other possibilities that we have, that we might can have some other disease or anything in the future also, right? This is why we want to perform predictive analysis. Okay. And once we got to know that, okay, this might can happen, in order to achieve, like, might be from my report it came to know that, okay, I might can have a diabetes in the future. So if I want to control that, then what I need to do, I need to stop eating sugar, right? And that is what prescriptive analysis is. What should we do in order to achieve, or in order to achieve that diabetes won't happen, or any certain things that we talk about, right? So all these four core types works together and perform the complete analysis. It can also refers to add, like, somebody gives me the data of the sales, right? So they have given me all the order ID, right? The detail of each order, the quantity they sell, right? And whatever the selling price at which they are selling, okay, cost price and the profit they have got, okay. So this, from this, yes, we can perform the analysis and find out uh, that what has happened in the past, right? Means, let's suppose the sales of the last 5 years. Okay. So I got to know, let's suppose from this given data, just an example, as I'm assuming hypothetically, that last 5 years sales was not good, right? Okay. It was, let's suppose the graph was like this. Okay. It was moving like this. So we have described our data. Yes, Excel, we can use Python, many different tools that we will talk about in future, but descriptive, we want to know that what has happened in the past. That's why we describe the data, or we got to know, okay, the sales was not improving in the last 5 years. We got to know descriptive. Now, why it has happened? That is the reason we want to identify that, okay, maybe we are selling less quantity, or maybe our selling price is higher. From the given data, that is what we can diagnose. And based upon this historical data, we can do the predictions. Okay, so based upon this given data, what might can be the graph in the next 5 years, right? So this is what we say that, okay, this is predictive analysis. And in order to achieve that, that sale will increase in future. If we want to achieve that, then what should we do? What actions we need to perform on the basis of that? This is what we call prescriptive analysis, right? These are the four core types of data analysis that we should know. So in order to perform descriptive analysis, we want to understand the past. And for that, yes, we summarizes the historical data, like sales report, KPIs, dashboards, monthly revenue trends. Okay, the tools Excel, Tableau, Power BI, fast and widely accessible use. Okay. Diagnostic, finding the reason why it has happened. So we drills into the anomalies and variances to uncover the root cause behind what the data shows. And like, why did quarter 3 sales drops 18%, right? Or what might be the reason that customers are churning, right? Or we, for that, we use root cause analysis, correlation analysis, drill down reportings, best for investigating problems, right? Validating hypotheses, understanding cause and effect relationships. And predictive we do is for forecasting. Okay, so for if future you are referring to forecasting, prediction we can also do in the current time period. Okay, so customer churn prediction, demand forecasting, credit risk scoring, inventory planning. And we use historical data combined with machine learning models, because if somebody gives me a data of a company having 10 million rows, right? Okay, and somebody says, okay, you do the analysis manually, it's not possible. Or you, yes, we can use Excel for that, but if somebody says you predict, sorry, for the future, it might not be possible for me to manually check that, right? For that, yes, machine learning models which are there, that we can implement with Python, or other tools which are there, right? Like on a we can use AWS services also, Microsoft Azure ML is there also, right? Where we can create these models, right? Which can help us to do the predictions. It's best for planning ahead, reducing uncertainty, and prioritizing high risk accounts before problem occurs. And last step, based upon the data that we got, like this can happen and how to achieve that. So recommended action that we have to perform. So this is prescriptive analysis, which goes beyond prediction. It tells you the optimal next step you have to take, not just what might can happen. So it is dynamic price engines, route optimization, automated resource allocation, and it requires the most data, compute power, and domain expertise. So best for automating complex decisions and maximizing ROI at a scale. So pick the right method for your question, right? Okay, so let's suppose you want a reports on the result. Yes, we can use descriptive method. We want to investigate a problem, diagnostic, right? We want to plan for future, predictive, and we want to optimize the decision, prescriptive, right? Okay, so these are the examples which refer to these different methods. So I hope in this lecture it's clear that what are the different types of data analysis that we have, that one data analyst must know. So choose the right method, and with this I end my session here. So in the next lecture we will be talking a bit more about real life examples, right? And we'll try to understand it with the help of various case studies, all the things that we got to know so far. So till then, keep learning and follow Mind Excite for more videos. Thank you.